Tri-State Commodities in 1971, and it started with just one truck. And I just asked him about this recently, actually. So he went from one truck, a few years later he bought 2 more, and he's like, next thing I knew it was 20 trucks plus. So he quickly expanded Tri-State, and it's now running about 45 trucks. Decided orange was the color he wanted to go with. He always liked orange. He wanted something that stood out and looked a little bit different. They usually do, they kind of catch your eye. My name's Chad. I'm the dispatcher here at Tri-State Commodities, and I'm the 3rd generation of the family. So my grandpa, Jack Shoup, started this back in 1971. I actually started working here when I was probably 12, 13. They stuck me in the wash bay. So that's kind of like the bottom starting spot. So I started out in the wash bay. I would pull trucks in and out, wash out trailers, wash trucks. My dad, Grant, started working in the shop when he was about 14. So I don't know if you guys saw that old truck out there, that old A model. That was the first truck he did an overhaul on when he was 14 years old. So we actually moved to this location in 1989, so almost 35 years ago now. We've been here ever since, and it's just, we've established good lanes coming in and out of Greeley. It's a good spot for us because agriculturally there's a lot of grain moving in and out of this neck of the woods. And then in the winters, if we get cold, wet winters, we move a lot of road salt, which is kind of one of our biggest commodities that we go through. So a lot of our loads deliver via pneumatic tanks. The pneumatic tanks are really hard to get out into the Utah, Idaho area for bringing the salt back. So my grandpa, he actually didn't own this building when it was first built. His brother did. And he said to his brother Harvey at the time, he said, could we come in and build a spot where we would be able to transload from a hopper onto pneumatic? A lot of our customers require these pneumatic tanks to deliver. So they came up with the idea they were going to build kind of like a tunnel system. So they dug a big giant hole in the ground, threw some concrete on top and put a hole in the middle. And that was actually before we were here. They built that in 1983, I believe. So it's over 40 years old now. And that was a big game changer for us because it allowed us to pick up a lot of the customers who required pneumatic. We use bulk loads primarily to find backhauls back to Colorado. So usually our guys will start their week here in Greeley. They're going out to Utah and then reloading something to go to Minnesota or Iowa or Illinois, wherever they're going. And once they get to those places, then it's kind of like we have to use bulk loads to find other places for them to get back to Greeley. So we try to get our guys restarted for the weekend. So bulk loads has been great for us because it allows me to say I go search by my destination is going to be Greeley. I can find a load that's close for that driver where he can get, within a few hundred miles of there. I can get him over there and get him back home for the weekend to do his restart or wherever he may live. So it's a great tool for us to be able to get guys home for the weekend. And it's a way for us to not always have to be calling this customer, hey, could you please take a load out of here? I can just look and see, okay, this customer needs a load. If I call this person, I'm going to be able to get this truck driver, if not all the way back home, I can get him somewhere where I know I can get him home from there. We want to make Grandpa proud, right? Because they say 3rd generation business is when it typically fails. So we don't want to be one of those statistics. And I have a 9-year-old son and a 7-year-old son, and they're both like, Dad, when can we come work at Tri-State? So it's kind of, for me, you want to keep this thing going so that if they do someday decide they want to work here, that we've got something good rolling and they can come in and just keep the wheels turning. But I think the biggest thing that my grandpa has always said is, yes, you want the business to make money, you want the business to be successful, but you want to take care of the people who are working for you. And that's something that has always kind of stood out when I'm talking with him about why did you start this business and why did you keep this going all of these years? 50 years is a long time for one business. And he said, it's because I care about the people and I want to take care of the people who are working for me. And then, eventually, hopefully pass it on to your kids and give them that same mindset of take care of the people who take care of you. So I think for me, it's rewarding to be able to see future generations be interested in, I want to work with you, Dad. And sure, there's days where it's challenging, but at the same time, you can't work with anybody better than family. So it's great to be able to keep it in the family, and hopefully we'll be able to do it for another 50 years.